Shock and symbolism. The drone strike on Moscow's skyscrapers and its consequences for Russia. When we think of war, we often picture front lines, destroyed warehouses, and military bases. But what happens when war stops being something distant and hidden and comes to the very heart of the capital, where the lights shine on high-end business centers and the elite reside? A drone that pierced Moscow's skyline wasn't just an attack. It was a strike at the very symbol of luxury, power, and safety. On the day Ukrainian drones struck the Moscow city skyscrapers, valued at over $1.2 billion, the world didn't witness just another military operation. It was a message aimed directly at the core of Russia's national identity. This was not just about material damage, but about attacking the very essence of security, progress, and pride. Can there really be any place in Moscow, with its cutting-edge skyscrapers and complex air defenses, where a foreign drone can't penetrate? When the drone hit Moscow City, the illusion of invulnerability crumbled. The gleaming glass facades, once the epitome of Russia's power, shattered, and the smoke billowed across the city. This wasn't merely physical destruction. It was an attack on the image of modern Russia itself. What happened inside those towers? While the damage was not enough to bring the buildings down, the interiors became a battlefield of their own. Desks and chairs scattered, glass shattered, and luxury offices were suddenly filled with debris. A routine workday turned into a scramble for survival. Could those who worked in these prestigious buildings ever imagine that war could come to their doorsteps? Moscow City, the untouchable symbol, shattered in an instant. The Moscow City towers weren't just buildings, they were symbols. Symbols of modernization, Russia's attempt to rival the financial districts of London, New York, and Dubai. They represented the promise of power, stability, and protection. And yet, when the drone struck, everything changed. That feeling of safety? Gone in an instant. The glass, once representing the peak of Russia's luxury and ambition, was now shattered. For years, these skyscrapers were seen as invincible, a stronghold of the elite, shielded by Russia's heavy air defense systems. But now, we saw the vulnerability of the very pillars of Russian success. The idea that a simple drone could pierce through that defense and hit a symbol of Russia's wealth and power shattered the myth that Moscow, and by extension, Russia, was untouchable. Drones, the new reality of modern warfare. What really makes this strike stand out is not just the damage caused, but the weapon used. Drones. No fighter jets, no missiles, just small, cheap, and incredibly effective unmanned aerial vehicles. These drones, capable of flying hundreds of kilometers, evaded Russian air defenses and struck right at the heart of Moscow. Ukraine's drone capabilities, refined throughout the war, allowed it to do what seemed impossible just a few years ago: carry the war deep into Russian territory. For just a fraction of the cost of a missile, Ukraine was able to strike one of Russia's most prestigious landmarks, sending a clear message: no location is beyond reach. Despite billions spent on air defense systems like the S-400 and Panzer systems, the drones slipped through. The attack raised a chilling question: just how strong is Russia's protective shield, really? For a few $1,000s, Ukraine managed to cause millions of dollars worth of damage and send shockwaves through Russia's elite. Moscow's security under question. The response to the strike was swift. Firefighters, police, and medical teams rushed to the scene. The area was secured quickly, roads were blocked, and evacuations took place. But what does this say about the vulnerability of the city's security systems? Skyscrapers are usually designed to handle fires, natural disasters, and accidents. But they weren't built to withstand drone strikes. This attack made it clear that Moscow's civilian infrastructure was unprepared for modern warfare. The debate is now underway. Do cities like Moscow need new forms of protection? Experts suggest drone jamming technologies, reinforced glass, and better evacuation protocols. Russia may have contained the immediate threat, but the underlying problem remains. These skyscrapers were never designed to be fortresses. But now, with the war at their doorstep, they need to be. Psychological and symbolic impact, a message to the elite. What makes this attack so unique isn't just the physical damage, it's the psychological and symbolic weight it carries. The Moscow city towers are not military facilities. They're centers of commerce, banks, and international businesses. By targeting them, Ukraine delivered a direct message to Russia's elite. Wealth and influence won't protect you. This attack wasn't just about damaging property, it was about shaking the confidence of those in power. For ordinary Muscovites, it shattered the illusion that their capital, always thought to be distant from the front lines, was immune from attack. For the world, this strike was a stark reminder that Ukraine could bring the war to the symbolic heart of Russia, dismantling the narrative of Moscow's invulnerability. It was bold, unexpected, and deeply symbolic, which is why it made headlines around the world. The financial cost and global consequences. The Moscow city towers are valued at roughly $1.2 billion, not just the cost of construction, but the combined value of the businesses and investments that operate there. This strike didn't just cost Russia in terms of immediate physical damage. It's a blow to the economy, to the elite, and to the confidence of global investors in Russia. What will be the long-term effects on Russian finance? Will the world continue to do business with a country where even the wealthiest and most protected sites can be hit in an instant? What do you think? This attack wasn't just a tactical military move. It was a stark message to the world that modern warfare, powered by cheap and efficient drones, can reach anywhere. Even the very heart of the Russian financial empire. What does this mean for the future of warfare? And how will Russia respond to this unprecedented breach? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Russia will cope with this new reality? Share this video if you think it's time for the world to wake up and rethink what security really means in today's world of modern warfare. Ukrainian drone strike, the new face of modern warfare. In the heart of Moscow, amid the towering symbols of Russian power and wealth, a single drone strike has shaken the very foundation of what we thought we knew about warfare. This wasn't just an attack on a skyscraper. It was a resounding slap in the face of Russia's invulnerability, a bold statement to the world that modern warfare is no longer fought in trenches or on battlefields. It's fought in the skies, in cities, and in the minds of the people. For years, Russia has lived under the illusion of impenetrability. Their capitals, their high-rise districts, their billion-dollar towers all appeared beyond the reach of any enemy. But one strike, one drone, has proven that no fortress is safe. The financial hub of Moscow, built on wealth and international prestige, now faces an uncomfortable truth. Nothing is untouchable anymore. A single drone strike may not bring down the entire financial system, but it shatters confidence. The repair bills will run into the millions. International businesses, once secure in Moscow's glossy towers, will now reconsider their investments. Investors around the world are watching, and this attack will make them think twice before committing to a city where, even with all its wealth, a skyscraper can be struck with ease. For Ukraine, this act was a masterstroke. A fraction of what Russia spends on defense has been used to strike at the heart of its capital. The imbalance between cost and effect is staggering. This wasn't just a show of military might, but a demonstration of precision, creativity, and technological superiority. Ukraine has sent a powerful message. It doesn't need to match Russia dollar for dollar to deliver a crushing blow. In the world of modern, asymmetric warfare, ingenuity is as deadly as brute force. A message across the globe. This attack isn't just about Ukraine and Russia, it's a wake-up call to the world. The battlefield has expanded. It's no longer about tanks and trenches. It's about cities, symbols, and the very psychological fabric that holds nations together. This wasn't just an attack on a building. It was an attack on the idea that a country, any country, is safe from the reach of modern warfare. The idea of safe zones, once considered inviolable, has been obliterated. Drones have turned the concept of distance on its head. A target hundreds of kilometers away can be reached, damaged, and turned into a global spectacle. And the psychological effects of this strike, far greater than the physical damage. Moscow, the capital of a nation that boasts one of the largest militaries in the world, has now been struck on its own turf. The city is no longer invulnerable. The feeling of safety, once wrapped in its elite neighborhoods, has been irreparably torn. What does this mean for Russia? The fallout from this attack will be felt for years. The psychological wounds are deep. Moscow's wealthy elite, who once believed their fortunes insulated them from danger, now face the uncomfortable truth: no amount of money can protect them. The towers may rise again, but the sense of invincibility is gone. For Ukraine, this strike represents something more than just a tactical victory. It is a clear signal to the world that they can challenge Russia not only on the battlefield but deep inside its capital. This is about more than just military superiority. It's about morale, national pride, and the power of symbols. The attack proves that even with limited resources, Ukraine can stand toe-to-toe with one of the most powerful nations on earth and win. The shifting dynamics of global security. For the international community, this event serves as a chilling reminder of how warfare is evolving. Cities, once thought to be secure from such attacks, are now exposed. Skyscrapers, airports, financial districts, and government buildings will have to rethink their security strategies. What happened in Moscow is a harbinger of things to come. The era of the silent, deadly drone strike has begun. Insurance companies, urban planners, and national security agencies are now looking at this event with new eyes. How can they prepare for an age where warfare is invisible, precise, and silent? The cost of ignoring these lessons could be catastrophic. For Russia, the questions are uncomfortable. How can they assure their citizens and the world that Moscow is safe? How can they adapt their air defenses to protect civilian infrastructure? Is there even such a thing as a truly impenetrable defense? And at what cost? Every ruble spent on air defense is a ruble not spent elsewhere. And Russia is running out of room to keep up. Ukraine, on the other hand, has shown that ingenuity, not just firepower, is the key to success in modern warfare. This drone strike is not just a military operation. It's a symbol of Ukraine's resilience, creativity, and ability to innovate. It also underscores the growing role of drones in modern combat, where small, smart, symbolic actions can create far-reaching effects. A turning point in warfare. The world has witnessed a turning point. What was once considered the domain of military might is now something different. Psychological warfare, asymmetric strikes, and technological superiority. Ukraine has proven that with creativity, even the smallest force can deliver devastating blows. The towers in Moscow may stand again, but the psychological damage is done. The world will never look at Moscow or Russia's defenses the same way again. This strike may be remembered for years as a pivotal moment in the evolution of modern warfare. It highlights the vulnerability of even the most powerful nations and emphasizes how technology is reshaping not just the way wars are fought, but the way they are perceived. So, what comes next? As cities around the world reevaluate their security measures, one thing is certain: the rules of war have changed forever. No one is safe, Not even the tallest, most fortified tower in the richest, most powerful city in the world. What do you think? Can Russia recover from this blow to its image? Or is this a sign of even bigger vulnerabilities ahead? Write your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion matters. And remember, this is only the beginning. The age of drones is upon us, and the future of warfare will never be the same. If you believe this strike marks the dawn of a new era in global security, share this video. Let the world know the game has changed.